yeah, yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's Josh from Thousand Echoes. Last night, my boys and I created one of the most avant-garde, strange, and interesting tracks that I've ever created.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I love you. Good.
My son Ezra and Nico, 6 years old and 4 years old. We had no plan, no structure, and no agenda. Two little guys and their dad, a microphone, some toys, and a lot of effects. And of course, pure, unfiltered chaos. And somehow, in the middle of all that beautiful noise, it reminded me of one of the most powerful principles that I use in my songwriting. And it's a concept that I hear in a lot of great songs, and something that I wanted to put words to. It's called repetition with evolution. And here's the wild part about this. This concept doesn't just live inside of your songwriting, it lives inside your body, your habits, your creative life, and your family. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's talk. You'd think that with two musical parents, our kids would just be living in the studio, but they don't. And here's why. When you work in a creative space every single day, you start to see it as your own space, your territory, your zone. And without even meaning to, you stop inviting people in, even the people that you love the most. Ezra is turning 6 in March, and if you've ever seen a 6-year-old completely lock in, and I mean obsessively get into something, you know it's one of the most energizing and, quite frankly, inspiring things in the whole world. Right now, Ezra's entire world is building, inventing. He loves robots. He loves making tools. He's got all these kits that are strewn around the house that we're picking up after every single day. He watches Mark Rober on YouTube and loves engineering, the Crunch Labs boxes. We've recently even just signed him up for a robot making class that we're really excited to see how he responds to. And then there's Nico. He's 4 years old. And Nico doesn't need a reason to make noise. He is the reason. It's so much fun to watch him pick up a pair of sticks and start playing a beat. He's got this little electronic drum kit, and then he comes out into the studio and plays on the real kit. He can actually keep a beat. It's incredible to watch. If there's a surface, he's gonna hit it, whether that be the countertops, whether that be the cupboards. If there's a button, he's gonna push it. If there's a microphone in the room, he's going to yell into it. And one day I'm watching both of them, Ezra building carefully, Nico absolutely destroying something else, and it just hits me. They're both creating all the time, just in totally different ways. And so am I, of course. Music is building. Songwriting is engineering. It's architecture, just made of sound and emotion. And so I brought my boys into the studio. We didn't sit down with a plan, no chord charts, no theory lesson, no rules. Ezra picked up a little toy car and he started clanking it. And he said, "Can we make music out of this, Daddy?" Watch. He introduces this like it's his own YouTube video.
Today, on this video, I'm going to show you how to turn a toy dump truck sound into a whole music sound. And it's actually going to be in my dad's studio. And this is the studio monitor, which will record.
I wanted to show them what you could do with a sound like this, so I pulled up a plug-in and started adding effects, and Ezra started layering things intentionally, really listening to what was happening, and I could just see his little face light up. It was so much fun. And it's really easy to get kids to start thinking like a producer, like a recordist or a creator. And then it was Nico's turn. He started contributing, and what Nico contributes is maximum energy and minimum time. It's really quick to get him to do something. I didn't give them any direction or tell them what to do, and they just made something totally strange and original and wonderful. So I'll just play a little bit for you. It's so much fun.
Time to shine. Yeah, 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 yeah. I love you.
Okay, so obviously this wasn't about making something perfect. It's about showing them that the studio is alive, that creativity is alive, that they both belong inside it. Whether you're 6 and thoughtful or 4 and feral, creativity isn't inherited, it's invited. And that little session got me thinking about something much deeper. And it's something that I've been sitting with for the last few weeks while I've taken a little break from the channel. I want to be real with you for a second. It's been a couple of weeks since I made a video, and here in the Pacific Northwest, winter has a very specific way of reminding you that you are not in control. In our house, it kind of works like this. Nico gets something first because Nico gets everything first. He's a 4-year-old germ magnet. And he doesn't apologize for it. Then Ezra, then the adults. It's a relay race that you never signed up for and somehow never win. Upper respiratory rotation. Every year, like clockwork, this has just been happening. And this year, it feels like it's probably the most intense it's ever been for us. But on top of that, I've been buried running a small business, keeping up with day job work, and doing some of the most intense prep work that I've done in a long time. I'm going on a little mini tour in May, opening for Chase Matthew and learning parts for Brian Hopkins, an artist that I have so much love and respect for. I've interviewed him for the channel before, so if you haven't seen Brian's interview, go check him out. But Jason and I, who I've also talked a lot about on the channel, we're going to be backing him up on drums and guitar. And here's what tour prep reminds you of really fast. This isn't about just knowing songs. This is about stamina. Late nights, travel, physical and mental energy that has to show up night after night. On top of that, I'm 44, and I'm realizing that I cannot out-caffeine bad habits anymore. Sadly for me, that era is over. You can't outwork a neglected body. So I started making some changes, slowly, deliberately. Strength training, real flexibility work, not just stretching before a gig. Protein at breakfast, actual fuel, not just coffee and a prayer, which is typically how all of us live in the music industry. Yogurt, kefir, hydration that doesn't involve a vending machine. And then one of the more unusual things that I've added is red light therapy. There's actual NASA research behind this. The way certain wavelengths interact with your mitochondria, stimulate ATP production, support cellular recovery. Man, that's hard to say. Up here in the Pacific Northwest, the sun disappears for 5 to 6 months, and I got tired of waiting for it to come back. If the environment won't fuel you, build one that will. And here's where this connects to the studio session and why any of this has anything to do with songwriting. I have a theory, and it's not backed by a study or going to cite a journal. It's just what I've lived. And the theory is this: if my body and my mind are operating at their best, I will create more, and I will create better in less time. That's it. It's simple, and yet I forget it constantly, especially when life gets busy and things get loud. And I don't know if you've noticed, but life with a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, it's loud. If you're out there and you're a parent and you're also creative, you know the struggle of finding that balance between creativity, parenthood, and self-care. And here's what I've always done when things get busy. I cut self-care. Workouts disappear. Sleep gets compressed. Meals become whatever's fast. And I tell myself I'm grinding, I'm hustling, and that I'm doing what it takes. But the truth is, I'm borrowing from my future self. And that debt catches up. Can any of you relate to this? I don't want to burn out at 44 trying to live like I'm 24. I want to perform at 50 the way most people peaked at 30. I want to be making music, great music, when Ezra and Nico are old enough to collaborate with me for real. And the path there goes through something most people overlook. If you've been following my channel at all, you've probably heard me talk about this songwriting book that I've been working on. It's a very slow process, but inside my Thousand Echoes Songwriting Toolkit, there's a principle I come back to more than almost anything, and it's something that I call repetition with evolution. I've talked about it on the channel before, but it's worth repeating. Here's the simple version. Repetition keeps your listener grounded. Evolution keeps them interested. Too much repetition and your song becomes a loop, predictable, numbing. Too much evolution and your song becomes chaos, nothing to hold on to. The magic lives in the tension between the two. Let me give you some examples. You run the chorus 3 times, but you change the last line on the final pass. Just one line, and suddenly the whole song lands differently. You build a melody in your verse and repeat it, but underneath it, the harmony shifts. The chord moves, the emotional color changes. You can also bring back a phrase from your first verse right before the bridge, but now the listener has lived more of the story. Those same words carry completely different weight. Verse 2 mirrors verse 1. Same structure, same rhythm, but the character has changed. The stakes have changed. So how can I distill that into a one-liner for you? The brain loves patterns, the heart loves surprise. And that's the principle. When you internalize it, you stop fighting the tension between familiarity and freshness. You start using it. Here's what I've realized while I've been sick and prepping for this tour and training and recording weird music with my boys. I'm doing this in my own life right now. Workout, same time, same effort, every day, repeated. Protein breakfast, same ingredients, same intention, repeated. But what's evolving? My strength is evolving. My energy is evolving. The ideas are cleaner. The writing sessions are sharper. Mastery isn't intensity, it's intelligent repetition. There are moments for intensity, of course, but repetition over time, that's how you really make progress in something. Ezra and Nico in the studio, I didn't sit Ezra down and open a theory textbook. I didn't hand Nico a lesson plan. Honestly, good luck with that. We just experimented repeatedly, playfully, loudly. And here's the thing I think about with kids those ages, they are literally the most natural practitioners of repetition with evolution. Ezra will play or sing the same riff or the same word 12 times in a row, 20 times in a row. And each time he does something slightly different. He's not being taught to do that. It's instinct. Nico will hit the same drum pad over and over and over again ad nauseum. And then suddenly out of nowhere, he'll do something that makes you stop and go, wait, where did that come from? They're already doing it. We just have to not train it out of them like it's been trained out of ourselves. And we have to train ourselves back into that type of experimentation. Over time, what they are building into that studio is going to evolve into something neither of us can predict right now. That's the whole game. I want to ask you something before we wrap. Where in your life are you quitting because you're bored? Because I think most people quit their habits, their workouts, their writing routines, their creative practices, not because it's too hard. They quit because it feels the same, and same feels like nothing is happening. But boredom isn't a signal to stop. Boredom is a signal to evolve. Repetition without evolution is stagnation. I get it, that's real. But evolution without repetition, that's chaos. That's starting over every week. That's never going deep enough to find out what's actually there. Health, marriage, parenthood, tour prep, songwriting, they all need both. Same foundation, different layers. Same commitment, different iterations. Watch a 4-year-old long enough and you'll see it. Nico doesn't give up on something because it stopped being new. He finds the new thing inside the thing he already knows. We used to do that too. Somewhere along the way, a lot of us stopped. You don't need a breakthrough. You need a pattern and the patience to refine it. So whether you're writing songs or raising kids or rebuilding your body at 44 when everything is louder and fuller and more beautiful than you ever expected, repeat and evolve. Ezra and Nico already know this. They just can't explain it yet. Maybe that's the point. If this one landed for you, I would love to have you subscribe to the channel. It genuinely means everything to me that you are coming to check out my videos and support what I'm doing here with the channel. And drop a comment below if you want me to deep dive into any of these concepts regarding repetition with evolution. I could pull one of my own songs apart and show you exactly where the principle lives in my own writing. I think that would be a lot of fun, actually. As always, stay creative, stay human, and I'll see you on the next one.